Tell me why I went to a fashion business school. Here's my degree. I went to a fashion business school and I cannot even get a job that makes more than $17 an hour. I work for big brands. Like, I have experience working for luxury brands. I have multiple internships under my belt. I'm very smart. I'm very capable. And literally none of these places are hiring. Every single job, especially where I'm applying to in Manhattan, because the fashion capital of the world. I'm like, if I'm going to go anywhere, it's going to be Manhattan. I cannot get a job that pays more than like $17 an hour. Like, am I gonna be poor forever? Like, I'm just like, I can't. And people are like, just keep applying. I'm like, I've been applying every single day doing hundreds of applications. I'm about to call my school up and say that this degree that I spent 4 years trying to get, 4 years, was a waste of money.
Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at the rise in useless degrees that get churned out at an alarming rate by institutions of higher learning around the world. This practice is not only predatory on young and impressionable people, but it's almost insidious in how it often entrenches young people into long-term debt. With the prevalence of mass layoffs globally and individuals with degrees struggling to find jobs, it's no wonder that people are starting to question the value of these bank-breaking qualifications. So, without further ado, let's jump straight into it.
Oh, hi, my name is Kayla.
Hi.
And I use Allison, and my concentration is economic inequality in the U.S. and Caribbean.
Period.
Hey, my name is Naomi. I'm Allison, and my concentration is spiritual healing.
Spiritual healing.
Hi, my name is Elio, and I concentrated in Black storytelling.
Hey, my name is Gabby. My concentration is called Exploring Colonialism and Sustainable
Oh my god, all these useless degrees.
I'm Alexia, and my concentration is creativity as communication, how the arts act as a language outside of verbal communication. Period.
What an incredible group of up-and-coming scholars, guys. I'm sure they'll contribute greatly to our society. Listen, there's obviously a place for the arts. I don't want to go too far in you have to do only STEM. No, there's a place for the arts. But these people, man, sounds like I want to enjoy absolutely none of the media that they would produce.
My degree from UCLA is practically useless to me, and I'm sure you're wondering, Sophia, how come? You just got that thing. And I'll tell you how come. So I graduated from UCLA in June with a bachelor's in psychology, and practically all of my internship and work experience was in marketing, because that's what I thought I was going to do with my life after I graduated college. But then 2 months out of college, I had this sobering realization that that was actually not what I wanted to do with my life anymore. And then of course I was very panicked by that realization, because what was I going to do with my life now, after everything I had done to set myself onto the right track? And so after some soul searching, I found something new. It was an industry that I didn't realize existed until that moment, but it felt like it had everything I was looking for. The problem is, this is not an easy industry to get into, and generally one of the main requirements to even get into it is to have a degree related to that industry. And that I do not have. Yeah, unfortunately, psychology is nowhere near that. I also evidently don't have any relevant work experience. So here I am, a college graduate trying to navigate a career change before their career has even started, and somehow get their foot into the door with no prior education or experience to back me. I'm basically starting from nothing and trying to turn that into something. I could have never anticipated this for myself when I graduated college, but here we are. It's not going to be easy, but I'd rather do it now than years down the line.
Is it me, or do I feel like we've all been lied to growing up in elementary school, middle school, and high school? We were literally all taught that going to college, graduating will mean, we would all get, good jobs, good careers, a lot of money. And that's not the case now. It's hard to get a job. Jobs are not paying that much. Most jobs aren't paying that much. It's close to minimum wage. And employers do not care whether or not a candidate has a degree. It's not even guaranteed getting your master's will mean you'll be successful, have a good career. I mean, it does depend on what you do. But really, I feel like I've been, bamboozled. I've been lied to, like literally. It's crazy.
There needs to be a distinction between a useless degree and a degree that is useless to the degree holder. What do I mean by this? For example, a degree that is useless to the degree holder would be an individual that studied finance, that's not using that finance degree, that's perhaps blown up on social media and doesn't need to use that finance degree professionally. A useless degree, however, is something ridiculous like underwater basket weaving. Surely you didn't have high hopes in finding long-term sustainable employment with your underwater basket weaving degree. Did you? Add to that, a lot of blue chip corporations have recently come out and said that they'll be dropping the requirement of a degree as a prerequisite when searching for new candidates. Now, when you sit back and assess everything holistically, a degree seems like a less attractive undertaking when considering the financial burden once you've graduated. Don't get me wrong, there are still a lot of useful degrees, particularly in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. But everything outside of that is a bit touch and go at the moment. Not to mention that AI is coming for those jobs in short order.
Whatever you do, do not get a liberal arts degree, do not major in humanities, you will not get a job, they are stupid, useless degrees, only major in science. Science, technology, engineering, and math will get you a job.
For what is a man? What has he got?
What is the most useless uni degree?
Can I get some options?
What's the most useless uni degree?
Drama, 100%. I know a few people who do drama and I tell them every day it's the most useless degree you'll ever do.
Oh, drama. Actually, drama.
Alright, okay,
Definitely.
okay. Drama.
That's useless right there.
PE.
That's useless as well. I've been told PE what I'm doing, so.
Really?
English language.
Business management.
Business management?
Yeah.
100%?
Yeah.
Business management.
You can do anything that with a business management degree without needing a business management degree.
That's why people just want to go uni just for the sake of it.
I did business management.
You did business management?
Yeah, man. What's the most useless uni degree?
I say fashion, you know.
Not business management, no.
Going to learn business in a business degree is like going to a fat person trying to get them to help you lose weight, when the fat person has never lost weight in their life. Does it make sense to you now? The whole university thing, I swear to God, if you're trying to build a business, you don't need to go to university. You don't need to learn business studies because that's not going to build your business. The only way to build a business is by trying and failing, learning off people with successful businesses. For example, you're not going to go to a taxi driver and start asking him, yo, how do I create content? It doesn't make sense. So the person who's teaching you how to create businesses is not even a business owner. So why would you learn off them? Does that make sense to you now? And listen, look, you don't need to listen to anyone who says to you, yo, you need to get a degree, that's the only way you're going to get a high paying job, blah, blah, blah. You'll learn skills from there. Of course, you're going to gain certain skill sets from, getting a degree, right? But it's not going to help you in business. If you are someone who wants to start a business and you really believe in an idea and you have a problem to solve, just go out there and try it. That's the only way you're going to learn. You're going to fail, it's inevitable, but that's where you learn. You learn from failure. So my advice is go out there and try your best. You're gonna learn.
What's happening over there in the UK? You lot seem to have an axe to grind with business management degrees. To be fair, I myself almost fell into the business management trap. However, I found myself more intrigued and eventually passionate about marketing management, which is what I eventually graduated in. Not that it's helped me in any way, shape, or form, considering that I'm still on the job hunt without any luck. These are the types of things I wish young people were told at the ripe young age of 18. It would solve a lot of problems and save a lot of people a lot of money. One thing that's always perplexed me about the academia industrial complex is how ordinarily you can't get a loan if you aren't gainfully employed or without showing a reasonable ability of being able to pay the loan amount back. So how are these institutions able to hand out student loan debt when there aren't jobs upon completion of these degrees? Isn't that considered irresponsible lending? It's not only in the first world or the West where universities have become degree mills, churning out useless qualifications for young people to lap up at increasingly exorbitant costs. The same thing is happening right here in Africa too.
Degrees to avoid studying. Number 1 is BA Psychology. Guys, we have enough psychologists and not enough common sense. So please, this one is a no-no. Number 2 is BA Administration and HR. In fact, the whole Bachelor of Arts faculty, guys. We are tired of seeing people's talents. It's time to see thinkers and workers. The country is falling apart. We have enough DJs, enough dancers, enough actresses and actors. Number 3 is Chemical Engineering, Industrial Engineering, and Biomedical Engineering. These are like the least effective engineering degrees in the entire faculty. Number 4 is any academic degree, especially in the science faculty. So being like a physicist or a math major or a chemist, avoid those degrees, guys. They will get you nowhere in life. Last but not least is law, BCom, politics, and philosophy. Like I said, guys, we have enough hooligans running around pretending to try and fix the country. We need high-end skills. The country is falling apart.
Don't you dare do any of the degrees I'm going to mention here, especially in 2025. They are useless degrees. And the problem is there are 2 types of useless degrees, the obvious ones and the sneaky ones. The obvious ones are things like fine art, because why are you wasting your parents' money? You're wasting your parents' money to go paint and draw, and being told that your artwork is not good enough. Guys, you're not stressing me. But okay, that's an obvious one. And then there's also the what? The non-obvious ones, the sneaky ones, like BSc. What are you going to do with a BSc degree? Most of the people I know, I'm not attacking anyone, I'm not being rude, and I'm not targeting anyone because they'll think I'm talking about them specifically, but most of the people who I know who did BSc just dropped it because they realized midway, good to know, this is not worth it. And some others, they did BSc, but they are like now unemployed afterwards. And don't do that degree because it's very broad. It's extremely broad. And what are you going to be with it? What job are you going to get? What do you want to be? A scientist? Is BSc going to turn you into a scientist? Like, gosh. And the thing is, the way it's so broad, they teach you a bit of physics, they teach you a bit of chemistry, they teach you a bit of math, they teach you a bit of biology. And when I say a bit, it might be a big textbook, but not enough. The content they teach you is never enough for you to be able to specialize in that field. You become a jack of all trades, but master of none. So please, don't even touch BSc with a 10-foot pole. And I know universities are opening. Some of you are going to do a BSc degree. Don't do it. And also, we live in South Africa. Here in South Africa, how many sciences do you know? And also, worldwide, how many sciences do you know internationally? Name one. And don't say Albert Einstein. Don't say, come on. And there's more. There's way more. So just BSc.
I'm going to have to respectfully disagree with that pretty little young thing, because from what I understand, BSc, actuarial science, ends you up in a pretty cushy corporate job, especially if you can land one here in South Africa, for example, with an insurance company or a bank. Those individuals are actually some of the highest paid motherfuckers in this entire country. So she wasn't entirely correct on that. But I do agree with having to do all sorts of elective modules that are essentially fillers and time wasters in your degree that end up costing you an arm and a leg and wasting a lot of crucial, valuable time in your years of study. Anyway, guys, that's it from me for today. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Did you study a degree that turned out to be useless? Are you a barista at Starbucks with your humanities or gender studies degree? I'd love to know in the comment section down below. If you haven't already, hit the like button because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Hit the subscribe button because I'm still trying to run these numbers up and get to my goal of 1,000 subs. Thanks for watching. Peace.